Hey guys, welcome to Pages with Sidra. Today we are going to start chapter 588 of I Have 90 Billion Licking Gold Coins. If you haven't watched the previous chapters, make sure to check them out on my channel. Now, without any delay, let's dive into the chapter. Master, the questions you asked are way too easy. None of them can stump me. If you have more, bring them on. I've already memorized the Xianmin Herbal Compendium backward and forward. I've completely mastered it. Lin Zhilu proudly waved her little hand. Ahem. I didn't expect you to have this level of comprehension. Fine, you barely passed. But even if you want to take me as your master, it's still too early. The first test only examines your ability to learn and understand. Passing it only proves that you're a good seedling for medicine. With a few years of careful training, you might become a decent doctor. But if you want to be my final disciple, learning ability alone isn't enough. The first test is about comprehension. The second is about your innate foundation. The personal disciples of our Medicine King Valley start tempering their bodies at age 7. They soak daily for 1 hour in a special medicinal solution refined by our sect, gradually transforming their bodies far beyond the ordinary. But you're already over 18. Your physical development is complete. You've missed the best age to train. Even if you begin cultivating now, your achievements will be limited. And breaking past the genetic lock? Nearly impossible. Unless... The medicine ancestor shook his head. He wasn't exactly lying. A person's potential is best unlocked at an early age. Once the body matures, its plasticity drops drastically. It's like a crooked tree. Once it's grown bent, it's almost impossible to straighten again. Unless what? Lin Zhilu pressed on. Unless you're one of those 1 in a million martial prodigies, born with open meridians, capable of absorbing medicinal properties 10 times better than normal. Only that kind of true genius can defy the limits of age. The medicine ancestor let out a deep sigh. Such prodigies were unimaginably rare. Legend had it, the first founder of the Medicine King Valley was just such a genius. During his travels, he took in 2 disciples from the secular world, one named Bian Ke, the other named Hua Ta. They only trained with him for a few years, but their medical skills reached the realm of miracles. Their names were recorded in history, etched into legend. Master, isn't it obvious? I'm exactly that 1 in a million prodigy you're talking about. Fine. Since you're so persistent, I'll prepare a tub of medicinal solution for you. If you can absorb more than 10% of it, I'll reluctantly accept you as my disciple. Yay! Lin Zhilu's test was done. Gao Xianyin walked up quickly. Senior, I'd like to become your disciple too. Just like Lulu, I've memorized the Xianmin Herbal Compendium these past few days. Memorizing lines is my specialty. Test me however you want. You little girl, the compendium tests not just memory, but comprehension too. I'll ask you 3 questions. If you combine crabapple blossoms with broken heart grass, what kind of illness can you treat? And what is the optimal ratio for mixing them? Senior, I'd like some scratch paper to work it out. Granted. 20 minutes later, Gao Xianyin actually deduced the correct answer. The medicine ancestor was visibly surprised. It seemed Qin Yuan wasn't just surrounded by pretty girls. Every single one of them had talent and comprehension. What a pity, they were all past their prime age for cultivation. Even with effort, their future achievements would be limited. Meanwhile, Qin Yuan, inside a private lab in Yanjing, he had just finished a series of analysis tests and gained some key data. After the dog was injected with the ST virus serum, its cells were rapidly infected. Cellular activity increased sharply. Metabolism sped up. Its body remains in a constant state of hyperactivity. This dog would normally live 10 years. But with its current rate of cell division, it probably won't survive more than 2 months. Because the metabolic rate is so high, elderly humans who inject the serum may experience rejuvenation, appearing younger and more energetic. But elderly cells have already divided countless times. Injecting this serum is suicide. Human cells only divide a limited number of times. It's written into our genetic code. Only by breaking the genetic lock can we rewrite that code, extend life, and trigger self-evolution. But once someone is infected by the ST virus serum, even the best doctors are powerless to help. Unless we can develop a drug that replenishes biological telomeres to extend cell life and neutralize the ST virus. But doing that is 1,000 times harder than breaking the genetic lock itself. This research touches the very foundation of life. If we really managed to make such a drug, wouldn't that mean humans could live forever? It would defy natural law, and the immune system would reject any drug that tries to alter our life code. To rewrite genetic code by force, our current science and medicine simply can't do it. By this point, the results were basically conclusive. Whoever injects the super soldier serum will die. Chen Yuan wasn't sure if his system's enhancements could override this fate. Maybe it could help create an antidote. But by the time that's done, it may already be useless. Once someone gains power and youth, how could they possibly accept going back to being ordinary? Besides, the cell damage is irreversible. Even if they take the antidote, they'd be worse than before, rapidly aging, ugly, drained of life and spirit. To them, the antidote would be poison. At this thought, Qin Yuan pulled out his phone and posted a serious message to his WeChat moments. Do not inject the super soldier serum. Just one sentence. But the smart ones would understand how serious it was. Han Han, Qin Yuan posted something. Qin Wushuang called out. What did he post? He said not to inject the super soldier serum. I was actually thinking about trying it for fun. Qin Yuan never posts for no reason. Clearly, he's confirmed the serum has serious side effects, maybe even more dangerous than we thought. That's why he warned everyone. Yihan adjusted her glasses and calmly analyzed the situation. He's in Yinjing now? Han Han, I've decided to go find him. I've been under so much academic pressure lately. It's time to relax. Congrats, Dr. Qin. Once I finish handling some things, I'll head to Yinjing too. Chapter 1002 Dimensional Suppression. The world was quietly changing. Genetically modified humans were appearing all across the globe. Almost every day, there were headlines like, someone successfully underwent modification. Someone just became 20 years younger. A famous film star injected the super soldier serum at over 60 years old and astonishingly reverted to the appearance of someone in their 30s. His career reached a second peak. He even began endorsing the serum in commercials. But others started noticing something. They spent $8 million for genetic enhancement, and yet, it didn't seem to change their lives all that much. First of all, the strength boost from the serum had its limits. Just because you enhanced yourself didn't mean you could shrug off bullets. In the age of firearms, you still had to obey the law. And second, the more people got modified, the less rare it became. The public, bombarded by daily news of successful modifications, began to grow numb. Gradually, people began to realize, even after becoming enhanced, they were still nothing like Boss Yan. Boss Yan's talent, depth, charisma, vision, and strategic brilliance. These weren't things you could obtain just by taking a shot. You think turning into a bio-enhanced human will make you the next Boss Yan? That's pure fantasy. Boss Yan was constantly imitated but never surpassed. Always showing off, yet never once slapped in the face. Yes, genetically enhanced individuals did have stronger learning abilities than before, but true talent and depth are cultivated over a lifetime. There was even a second-gen rich kid who injected the super soldier serum and began learning piano the very next day, hoping to match Boss Yan's level. He progressed fast. Sure, he was smart. But the moment he began formal study, he realized just how far he still had to go. Even with his new learning speed, reaching Boss Yan's master-level piano skills would take at least 5 years. And that's just one skill. Boss Yan's talents didn't stop at piano. If he had to learn each of them for 5 years, he'd need 50 to 60 years just to catch up. You could give him all the answers, and he still wouldn't pass the test. More and more Boss Yan imitators began to appear. But the more they tried to copy him, the more the world realized. Boss Yan was simply extraordinary. Even the top-tier second-gen elites who had undergone modification were still nowhere near his level. How could a candle flame compete with the full moon? As more super soldier serum entered the market, its rarity dropped. The price also began to fall. Maybe after draining the wallets of the ultra-rich, they were moving to the second tier of wealth. From 8 million USD, the price dropped to 5 million. United States. Arizona. Grand Canyon. Located on the Kaibab Plateau in the American West, this was one of the world's longest canyons and a protected UNESCO heritage site. Deep within the endless canyon lay the ruins of an ancient civilization. This archaeological site was discovered more than 200 years ago by an American expedition team. And it was this discovery that helped the U.S. rise to become a global superpower. The legendary inventor Thomas Edison, inspired by research into this ancient ruin, went on to invent the light bulb, bringing light to every corner of the world. This ancient civilization laid the foundation for America's technological boom. Now, this place was designated as the SSSS-level top secret site in the U.S. And deeper still, the ruin held even greater secrets. At around 8 a.m., a train loaded with gold entered the restricted ruins zone. After passing layer after layer of inspections, security checks, identity verification, fingerprint scans, retina scans, the vehicle was finally allowed inside. There was no signal in the forbidden zone. All phones, cameras, computers, and electronics were surrendered. Advanced detectors scanned every inch of the body. Anyone caught leaking any photo or information from this place would be treated as a traitor. They'd vanish from the face of the earth. The gold transport driver, Tom, was deaf and mute, unable to speak or hear. His only job, deliver gold to the forbidden zone. Every day, without fail, for 10 years. 1 truckload of gold a day. Over the years, the amount he had transported could only be described as a mountain of gold. Meanwhile, turmoil gripped America. Duchess Tina Morgan's sudden power grab had thrown the Skull Society into chaos. Many factions were shifting their loyalty to the Morgan family. The first speaker, Edward, and the second speaker, Alex, were both nowhere to be found. No one could reach either of these top Skull Society leaders. At this moment, Edward and Alex were inside the Forbidden Ruins zone, studying an extremely complex blueprint. Speaker, Dr. David's simulations show a 90% success rate from over 10,000 tests. I believe we're ready to try it, a scientist said. Edward, who had always been calm and expressionless behind his metal mask, suddenly trembled with excitement. He looked up at the stars, as if the dazzling galaxy above was calling him home. After all these years, can I finally go back? For 2 centuries, I've amassed immeasurable wealth. According to the ancient ruins records, I've repaired the broken Stargate formation. Only gold, with its extraordinary stability, can withstand the massive energy needed to activate the space-time wormhole. With a controlled nuclear explosion to provide the energy burst, the Stargate can be activated, but without causing a nuclear meltdown. Achieving that balance was nearly impossible. I've waited 200 years for this day. Is it finally here? There was a deep longing in Edward's eyes, because he wasn't from Earth. 300 years ago, he arrived on this planet in a UFO, sent to collect data. But his ship was attacked by powerful Earth cultivators. The ship was destroyed. He was gravely injured. He retaliated, wiping out nearly all of Earth's top combatants. But without spatial jump tech, he was stranded. Just when he was about to give up, he stumbled upon the ancient ruins left behind by a different advanced civilization. There, he discovered a ruined interstellar teleportation array. Others couldn't understand it. But Edward, being from a higher civilization, could. Still, repairing the Stargate was beyond difficult. It took him 2 centuries to fix. But now, once he returned to the upper realms of the galaxy, he would present Earth as a gifted package deal to higher beings. And in return, he would receive unimaginable rewards. His life form tier could evolve once more. That's it for today's chapter recap. If you enjoyed the breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with the latest manga, manhwa, and manhwa recaps. Got thoughts on today's chapter? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear your take on the story. Also, if you know other fans who were reading this manhwa but stopped because it got axed, share this video with them. The more support we get, the more motivation we'll have to keep making these videos. See you in the next one. Until then, keep turning the pages.